We are back once again, ladies and gentlemen, with more One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. Today, we're going to be focusing on showing off the Warlords and kind of gauging their capabilities, how strong they are, and what tier we would put everybody on in light of the news of us getting the next DLC pack this upcoming Thursday. Yes, you heard it right, ladies and gentlemen. We are not getting the DLC pack close to Tokyo Game Show. We are not getting it near the end of this month. No, we are getting it this week on Thursday. This was recently announced on a live stream showcasing Gear 5 Luffy, Hybrid Kaido, and Yamato Sunday morning at 4 a.m. Well, yeah, it was at 4 a.m. I wasn't up at the time because, you know, obviously, I was asleep for church because, you know, I'm a band member. But I watched some gameplay of it. Kaido looks like he's going to be fun. The game's first speed-type giant character. Then we have Yamato, that looks to be incredibly fun as well. And then you have Gear 5 Luffy, where a lot of the things that he was doing makes me excited to play as him. So I can't wait to see just how, like, I can't wait to see the entire moveset of all of these characters, but I can't wait even more for the new soul map that we can find, where we can finally bring our characters to a higher level other than level 18. That along with brand new fresh skills that are going to be coming to the game as well. So yes, I am very much looking forward to that. So, time for a bounty mission, but it's also time we play as some warlords. So, let's start things off with the world's greatest swordsman, the world's strongest swordsman, Dracul Mihawk. Now, I need to move some stuff around. I don't need concentration. Triangle attack might be useful. Power overwhelming, cheat death, peerless strength, hero strength, triangle attack enhancement. I feel like this could be good enough. I don't know if Kraz was here, he probably suggests something else other than the triangle attack, but you know. Trading off, well, first we're gonna put Nightfall up here. I really would have liked if every character had like a special effect whenever they go into their full force burst. Some characters have it so that they have increased status effects with their attacks. Some make it so that, well, if you're a Logia, you're pretty much immune during the entirety of the full force burst. Others have it so that their attacks do hit twice, which is like Brook's FFB. I really would have liked it if Mihawk's Nightfall FFB made it so that his sword was charged on the third charge every time. So you didn't have to go through 2 whole attack strings on your basic combo in order to get to the amped up amped up version of his attack. Can't stay long, gotta head to the ceremony. Ceremony? Ceremony? Of course, Mihawk going into his FFB makes it so you can get to that last tier quicker. I feel like that attack string, this attack, but when it's maxed out on the third time, I feel like that might be Mihawk's best move. It covers a very long range, and it has a wide arc. Of course, that move has a wide arc as well, but the third one, the charge 3, the C3, I feel like it's best for Mihawk, just simply because it can hit multiple people all at once. You know what I want? I really want there to be a skill where we can hurt Logia users. Because sometimes, even if I reduce their bar while they're in their Logia state, I still can't hurt them until I drive that bar out completely. Which is why I really hope Power to Perceive One's True Form returns. Because it really was the best way to fight Logia users in the entire game. I don't think I was the one who took out Whitebeard. But at least I got some food because my health was ridiculously low. And Hancock's here. Just casually walking through that. See when their bar disappears, they're supposed to be staggered, but she was able to use Pistol Kiss despite the fact. If she's got food, I need to get it. Tangerine! Nami would be proud. Okay, so you see this? He already gets a max charge for his air combo. But I gotta earn it on the ground. I probably didn't need to have the triangle attack enhancement. Oh, how you... He caught me in midair. And he's just spamming this. Just spamming the brilliant punky. I really hope there's also a skill. Nice that I got the kill. I really hope there's a skill that makes it so that your combos are less likely to be interrupted. Not you flinching, but just your combos in general. Also, how are y'all doing dodges? How are y'all doing backdashes? How y'all doing all that? Yo, Gajil, good to see you. Welcome, the best. If you like One Piece, your favorite character is Luffy. I got a ton of characters that I really like. Luffy's in that list, but he's not my top character that I like the most out of everybody. But yeah, Gajil, we are focusing on the Warlords, and once we get done with them, because it probably won't take too long for me to get through the Warlords, we'll probably play some other characters as well, because I'm trying to see how they behave now before we get like the update and the new DLC later this week. I'm also thinking about what type of skills, new skills we could be getting. Mihawk versus Zoro, who win? Mihawk. Now. Because Zoro still isn't at a level where he can take on Mihawk yet. Simply because we haven't seen all of Zoro's fights. Once Zoro is done fighting and Mihawk is the only one left, then we'll find out. But as it stands right now, Mihawk will still beat Zoro. Simply because Zoro isn't done fighting yet. So hyped for the new DLC. Kodo-sensei, so am I. I'm actually shocked that we're getting it this week rather than, you know, later. That actually surprised me. Alright, kitty, have fun at your ceremony. We will see you next time. Alright, so I didn't defeat enough enemies as Mihawk. I probably should have changed up a skill or two to make him more efficient, because not every skill setup I have for all characters are optimized. Should be happy it's this week, next week, and the week after is busy. Yes, yes. We're getting it this week. And then we have Lives of P next week. And then we have Cyberpunk's 2.0 update and Phantom Liberty the week after. And then the final week of September, we have the final DLC for Sonic Frontiers. I have something to do every single week. Blessed! You subscribed? Well, thank you, the best. You're the best. Onwards to our next Warlord. You'd say Mihawk's pretty good for crowd control. Yes, he is. His C, and I still need a confirmation of whether I'm saying this right. His C3, because you count the triangle as the third hit, I believe. Because if it's just square, square, triangle, then that would be C3, right? I still need to look up the setup because it's been explained before, but it's been years since I saw the explanation, so I can't remember. But his second combo, not his basic and then his first combo, but his second charge combo, when it's fully maxed out, it is great at crowd control. The only downside I see to Mihawk's entire moveset is the fact that if you want to get the max out of it, you have to go through 2 basic combo strings until you get to the 3rd tier, and then you unleash the charge attack. Otherwise, it's just not worth it to use charge attacks on the first charge, on the first sword charge level, or the second sword charge level. All of his best moves are behind charging up his sword to the 3rd level and then unleashing it. So that is the only thing that's holding back Mihawk from being a really top-tier character, in my opinion. If he had that same full force burst effect like Oden does, where Oden's sword is coated in Conqueror's Haki, the entire time he's in full force burst and he never has to charge up his moves, then Mihawk and Shanks would be, I want to say, very strong characters. But now, mind you, they are strong characters, but they're not as strong as they could be if they had that advantage that Oden has. Alright, let's go with Jinbei. I really haven't messed with Jinbei in quite some time, so I probably need to change some things. Where is Cheat to Death? Cheat to Death! I don't need Great Pirate's Ire, but Undying would be nice so I don't die too quickly. So we got Kairagi Glaze. Full force burst, won't flinch even while taking damage. And then Fishman Karate, 7,000 brick roundhouse kick. Vagabond Drill, Baikan, Great Sea, Current Kick. All of his stuff is 4-star. All of his stuff. Well, almost all. Sea Current Spray Pillar, that's 1-star. Ocean Current Shoulder Throw, Mizugo Koro, Kairiui Panzioi. That's 2-star, 1-star, 1-star. All of his best moves are right here. So I really don't need to change much. And, oh, I didn't give him much defense. Or, well, actually, I really haven't done much for him. I probably should max out his health and defense because I know I'm probably going to get hit hard doing this. And I was saying this at another Discord. I hope and pray that the new skills that we get for the new soul maps, and I say maps with a plural, the new soul maps we're getting, that they're all game-changing in a much more beneficial way and not situational. Like, hey, you do more damage the lower the health the enemy is. But, nah, I want something that's like, oh, you get this additional effect while you're in full force burst. Or maybe even this. Maybe some skills we unlocked on the soul map extends our skill slots, so we can have more skills stacked on top of each other. I know I'm just spitballing here, but until we get that soul map in our hands, I'm just hoping and praying that all the new skills that we get are beneficial, on top of us being able to increase all levels beyond 18. Power Warriors 3, you can get Mihawk's sword fully charged by hitting his R1 gimmick, and it made him busted. Yes, because all you had to do was just do one hit, just one square, then R1, then one square, then R1, and then you were immediately at his charge 3. Dodge canceling and the R1 gimmick in Power Warriors 3 made a lot of characters who have been nerfed in Power Warriors 4 top tier in Power Warriors 3. So much groundwork skipped over with Mihawk's R1. Mihawk was phenomenal with his R1 gimmick. Tashigi was an S tier character to play with dodge canceling and her R1 as well. I'm just thinking of a lot of characters who had a lot of R1 gimmicks. I'm trying to remember what Buggy had, because all characters had like an R1 sort of thing. I think for Chopper, his R1 was his scope. I think for Kuma, it was just him putting his hand up and blocking attacks, and he could do that for any attack. Just repel everything. Which, you know, was synonymous with this character. I need to stack that defense. I cannot wait for batch upgrades. Am I missing a... Oh, yeah. I didn't finish it off. All right. All right. I was above you, sir. How did you get me? Also would be nice that since Jinbei clearly has hockey coating on his hands, It'd be nice if he actually did more damage because of that. But it's just purely cosmetic. Alright, where did Jozu go? I know he dropped some food somewhere. Ah! Food! What means Jinbei? I don't think it has a specific meaning to it. That's just Jinbei's name. Meat! We have meat. I like how his Gosen Maigara Seiken is basically a delayed shockwave that goes quite a distance. Unfortunately, Jinbei no longer has the moves where he could grab an opponent and just flail them around like Yujiro Hama in the last season of Baki. I can't grab onto people and just slam them around like in Power Warriors 3. All of his moves are either just full-on melee moves or jujitsu, fishman jujitsu moves. So no shoulder throw? No. He doesn't have Mizugokoro. He doesn't have, because that used to be his triangle. That used to be his triangle where he could just, actually, I remember when triangle combos were a thing. They weren't just, because triangle combos had like an entire string as well, where you start an attack with triangle and did different things with it. So that's basically gone. We only have the square to triangle combos, but not triangle to square combos. So there's, because Jinbei's triangle to square combos were all his fishman jujitsu moves. Whereas they're now just incorporated into his entire moveset in this. Can we get Pirate Warriors 3 combat mechanics? I so wish that they kept the way the game played from Pirate Warriors 3 and then just kind of built upon it rather than just revamping the whole thing, adding in types for characters, and also giving us a stamina limitation for dashing, and getting rid of the R1 gimmick for characters and replacing it with hold down this button then press a special move type deal. Because playing in the last game, all you had to do was just fill up your meter and then unleash your special. It wasn't like, okay, I gotta choose between these 4 different moves or whatever. So it was more fun with the mechanics back then. Not saying that it's not fun here, because I enjoy playing a lot of characters that we didn't have in Power Warriors 3. Thomas, good to see you. I am doing phenomenally. But the things that they changed differ too much from the previous game, where it just doesn't feel like it meshes well with a lot of characters like it should. And it also doesn't help that characters don't feel as powerful as they should due to the level limitation. Well, we can say that it's temporary due to the fact that we're getting a level increase this week. So, we'll see how these characters stack up once I, max their skill trees and everything. You guys will be here for it because I'm going to have a showcase. We're going to have a stream messing with the new DLC and everything it has to offer. And if it truly is worth people's time. Now, mind you, I did this before. I did this before with the last DLC that Pirate Warriors had, where I told people whether or not these DLC packs individually were worth your time. The same deal is gonna be the same thing for this as well. Because I already got the character pass for this. But not everyone is going to want to get the whole pass. They want to see if it's worth their time. Which is why I'm more than happy to, show all the characters off. And how the game is going to be with these new characters. Because what makes these packs different from the last ones we got is the fact that it's not just characters this time. Which was criticized for a lot of people, including myself, because I thought with the series as expansive as One Piece, you'd think they would do more for this game other than just give you 9 characters overall 3 years ago, and that was it. So it seems that they've taken some cues and decided, you know what, let's not do the bare minimum. Let's do more than what we did before, which is good. But it can make a lot of people feel like, why didn't you do this in the first place? And it does raise a good question of why they didn't try to do this in the first place and then just expand on it, add in characters, because they can't say that they didn't want to add in characters that weren't part of the storyline if we're getting Uta and Roger. So it really does beg the question, why did they remove characters if we're getting characters that aren't even in the main story that this game covers? We're getting Uta, whose appearance was in a couple of, filler episodes of One Piece and in One Piece Film Red. And then we're getting Roger, whose entire life story happened before the start of the series. So the reasoning for them removing characters like Garp and Eneru and Kuma and Magellan really doesn't hold much weight if you think about they removed it because they have nothing to do with the story, when we're getting DLC characters that some haven't had an appearance in the series, in the official series, simply because they're either before the events that are happening or have nothing to do with the events that are happening, or they were just in movies. So it makes you wonder, why did they remove them in the first place? Wish Jinbei felt better in the game. I wish he did as well. I missed it. I missed it when his brick fist is actually at the end of his combo instead of him just basically body slamming people in front of him. It not only made the attacks feel better, but it actually made his combos feel like they had a satisfying finisher. Like, you do all these different moves, and then you end with a massive punch at the end that sends shockwaves going through rows of enemies. Where here, it's like you do all these different moves, and then you end with a massive body slam that sends people flying. Now, mind you, it's got good crowd control and everything, but the spectacle of it. It's not just about whether or not these moves are effective, but whether or not these moves look cool. And I have to say that being able to punch like that at the end of a combo and send people flying is a lot better than just, you know, jumping over and body slamming people with your feet at the end of the day. It's just the spectacle that meshes with me more than anything. Also feel like his moves are slow. They only speed up when you're using his full force burst. And then we got attacks like that completely miss their targets. So you know that's fun. We got Logia users who become incredibly annoying even if I'm in full force burst. They become quite a hassle sometimes. I really hope we get power to perceive one's true form or some type that makes it so that we can hit Logia users even if in their Logia state and their armor gauge is still up. I really hope we get that because Logia users are far more annoying to fight in this game than anything else, simply because of the brand new armor status that enemies get now. Logias are broken? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They drag out fights more than anything else simply because they can go into their Logia states and you won't be doing damage to them simply because they're in their Logia states, even if their armor status is broken. Like, here we have Ace. As soon as I break him, he's going to go into his Logia status. I'm going to give him a chance. Because he's going to break himself out of my combo. The AI is programmed to put itself into full FFB when it suffers too much damage to save itself. And that includes making it so that they can just straight up ignore combos while in the middle of being in a combo. See? You see that? Ace should not be able to change in midair whatsoever. I probably need some food before Hancock and Ace kill me. Yeah, I'm about to die. If I get hit by Hancock or whoever, I will die. Wouldn't it be fun if we got a skill that makes it so we regain health on hit? As ridiculous and how unlikely as that sounds, that would be funny to have. And of course, the game doesn't believe in giving you a bone. See, this is another... Oh, great, Marco. This is another downside to slow characters. Slow characters who are not giant characters. If you attack slow and you're going up against an enemy who's fast, you will get hit more than you hit them. See if I can get Ace. Hopefully I can get him. All right, I got Ace. I need food. I need food. I need food. That is good enough. That is good enough. And I completely miss Hancock.
Why?
Do not move. Do not move.
Stop moving!
All right, got Hancock. And we got some meat. All right, we're good. Wonder if Jinbei will have armament hockey. I would very much like for them to make it so that him having armament hockey actually has an effect in the game. Because look at this, Gajio. I'm about to activate his full force burst. Look at Jinbei's hands. His hands are black, which means he's using armament. But it doesn't actually have an effect in game. It's merely cosmetic. The only perk for Jinbei's FFB right now is the fact that they make it so that he doesn't flinch at all while taking damage. And it doesn't mean that since he's hockeyed up, he will do more damage and have an effect on Logia characters. That's just simply not something that happens. Oh wow, I actually hit Marco with that. I got a lot of ideas of what would change. Pyro Warriors 3 Luffy could deny Logias with his Grizzly Magnum, and hockey meant something. Yeah, hockey meant something. And it just seems like it's more of a cosmetic option rather than an actual gameplay mechanic. So I'm not really a fan of playing big, heavy characters like Jinbei, simply because his attacks leave him way too wide open for it to be viable in a fight like this. I am getting hurt more than I'm doing damage to everyone else. And if I was using dodge cancels, this really wouldn't be much of an issue. But since dodge cancels don't exist, love Jinbei in the story, but this game, but in the game, yeah, he's not good. He's definitely not A tier. I would dare to say that he's not even B tier. The only great thing about him are his special moves, but a character is greater than that. They should be more than just the special moves that they have. If they're nothing without their if their special moves alone is what makes them great characters, then they're not really great. Because characters who are good in this game, their combos are good, their specials are good, literally everything about them is good. Which is why people like Whitebeard and Oden are very good characters, simply because they have a... Never played a Power Warriors game? Hold on. Because Crocodile's trying to be extra. Let me get him. I believe I'll be able to finish. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Yeah, we're gonna play as Boa Hancock next. Let me see what D-Train said. I gotta wait for the game to catch up and say like, oh, you actually completed your objective. Because I'd be completing objectives way too quickly. Characters like Jinbei could be great, but they are bogged down by changes in moveset. Changes in moveset and certain limitations of his moveset as a whole. Never played a Pirate Warriors game, so you're wondering, shouldn't Jinbei have an advantage against Ace being a fishman and using water moves, so elemental strength and weakness don't apply here? No, they don't. Okay, so D-Train, since you're new to Pirate Warriors, they used to have that sort of thing. Elemental advantages and weaknesses. They used to have that. But they really just kept some gimmicks that really don't help a character and rather limits them, because Sanji is by far one of the worst characters in the game, simply because tons of missions and tons of maps you play have women in it that you have to fight. But given Sanji's stance against hitting women, he's literally put at a disadvantage. Like, hold on. Let me show you. Before we play Hancock, let me show you what happens if you go into a mission that could quite possibly have a woman in it. Same with Boa, love her, but in this game, you don't feel her moveset. Strongest for you is still Ace. He can just delete everything. Yeah, he can. He's really good at it. Alright, so let's pick Sanji. Now, the enemy placements will be completely random. You have no idea what type of enemies will show up during these missions, save for the ones who are scripted to show up, such as Whitebeard or Big Mom. Just big Yonko characters. You don't know what type of characters will show up. But if I hit set sail, the currently selected episode contains female enemies. Sanji is at a disadvantage against female enemies. Is this okay? No. So you just gotta go back. You can't, even hockey barely works. There's no hockey in this game, though. I mean, you have Conqueror's hockey, and then you have Katakuri's future side with observation, but armament, frankly, really does not play a part in the Pirate Warriors games. Now, they used to. They used to in Pirate Warriors 3 with a special skill called Power to Perceive One's True Form, which allowed you to hit Logia characters and injure them even if they were in their Logia state. By far one of the most lore-accurate skills for the entire Pirate Warrior series. That skill is no longer there. We no longer have that skill. It can make it, because that skill made it so that Blackbeard behaved like an authentic Blackbeard character, and any character that knew hockey in One Piece was capable of harming all Logias in the game, even if they were to turn into their elements. It was a beneficial skill. It made fighting Logia so much easier, but that skill is now gone. So now you're left with an armor gauge that you have to reduce before you can really do major damage against an enemy. It's like the stagger bar in Armored Core 6. You have to get rid of, instead of you building up the bar, you have to get rid of that bar in order to do more damage against unconscious enemies. Because when you reduce your armor gauge, when you reduce an enemy's armor gauge, you put them in unconscious status, which leaves them susceptible to your attacks. But sometimes you really can't. Sometimes their bar gains frames of invincibility where you can keep hitting them with a combo and their bar not only won't reduce, but sometimes they'll just ignore the fact that you're hitting them and just go into their special modes, which gives them a couple more seconds of iframes and thus makes fighting people with both Logias and enemies with armor gauges more annoying than anything else. which is why I'm really hoping that this new skill tree, these new soul maps, because like I said, we're getting more than one, they really make the difference in being able to injure enemies further so that there's a less hassle. There's less hassle with finding these types of characters. So even though Jinbei's hands were black, indicating that he's using armament Haki, it's not Haki. It's, like I said, it's purely cosmetic. Haki is not its own gameplay element in this game. The only surefire Haki-related element in this game is Conquerors from characters who can use Conquerors. And you can't include Oden because their last update made it so that Oden's Conqueror's Haki doesn't even work right now. CJ, good to see you. But yeah, armament Haki is not actually a thing. Even though you'll see people like Luffy use Haki with his attacks, Jinbei Hakiing up his hands for its full first burst, and pretty much any other character who are capable of using Haki, that is not an element that exists as part of a gameplay mechanic in this game. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. Jinbei should have full body armament Haki. Yeah, he should, but he does not. Haki itself is only limited to the individuals who can actually use it. So, you know, like Hancock, she has Conqueror's Haki, but that's the only element of Haki that actually has a gameplay, that is actually a gameplay thing. And this is what I was talking about before. You see how it says off to the side, full force burst, and then square attacks petrify enemies? I like that attention to detail. It is interesting when Haki got important in the story, the Pyro Warrior series dropped Haki, or the people who were doing the Pyro Warrior series didn't know how to incorporate Haki into the game. That's my assumption. I don't think that they didn't include Haki simply because One Piece started to get more in-depth with Haki. The story got more in-depth with Haki, but I feel like they didn't know how to implement it as a whole mechanic. Like a whole separate damage multiplier by characters who know how to use it. Which, in my mind, doesn't seem like it would be a hard thing to implement. But the fact that they haven't tried, despite how far the stories have been going lately, just makes me wonder if they actually tried in the first place. Because having characters who can use Haki in their attacks, you can clearly see their arms turn black with Haki, but it's not an actual gameplay thing that affects gameplay. It's kind of baffling. But let's get back to the task at hand. I need to put up some good skills here for Hancock. I could put a Great Pirate's Ire to make it so that enemies are easier to petrify. Where is Sovereign Strength? Just make Conquerors a stagger attack? Well, Conqueror's Haki can work out really well. I'm trying to find Sovereign Strength so that Conqueror's Haki's attack is even stronger for Hancock. And I think I'm good with all of her maps. I think I have all... Yeah, I have everything maxed out except stamina. So I'm not truly worried about that right now. Now already I'm doing a far better job using Hancock than I was using Jinbei. Now already being able to inflict a status effect on Whitebeard and just big characters in general, already a big advantage. Also, CJ, you said, have I ever tried playing at least part of Heavenly Flight from Dragon Quest on my trumpet before? Nope, because nothing from Dragon Quest has interested me to the point where I want to play any of its music. I mean, I like some of the games, but it hasn't interested me to the point where it's all like, well, I feel like playing some Dragon Quest music. None of it has done that for me. It's funny that you should mention Hancock as yet another female character who has to be very hot in the live-action One Piece, because I saw people saying like, hey, we have a fan casting. Let's get Gal Gadot as Robin. And I'm like, you should want people who can act. Kal-El, no. Maxwell Lord, your wishes are causing turmoil across the world. Where's the stone? You have to give it to me now. Hold up a second here. It dropped a couple frames for a second. I want to make sure we're still in the green. How dare you mock Queen Godot? Look, Ricketts! Look, Ricketts! Look, Gal Gadot, very gorgeous individual. Very gorgeous individual. But I don't want her nowhere near my animation. Whitebeard is huge. You know he's big in the anime, but dang. Her Kal-El no was better in the Snyder Cut, though. Yeah, it was better. It was definitely better. You know what I hope we get for the soul map? I hope we get skills that are linked to our combo counter. That give us big buffs for our combo counter. Wait. I didn't know that Hancock had Chun-Li's, like, super kicks. I didn't know that she had that. Shows you how much I know about playing Hancock. And to think I have tenacity on so that she doesn't get staggered as much. It's going to be very interesting to see who they cast for Season 2. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Had too much going on. How do you like a live-action Kyushu? I liked it. It didn't have to be an exact one-to-one of One Piece, but what they accomplished in the episodes, I definitely liked it. Now, for certain characters, like Garp, I feel like they kind of differentiate how Garp is due to the fact that he's going all these places chasing after Luffy, which doesn't seem like something that he would do. That would be like something Smoker would do, and we don't get Smoker until like a post-credit scene at the end of the last episode of Season 1. So what Garp was doing was something more that Smoker would actually do rather than it be Garp as a whole. Like, if he encountered his grandson, that'd be one thing, but he's not going to chase him all across the seas. It's not that serious to Garp. Smoker, on the other hand, that would be something he would do. Yeah, it definitely caught me by surprise seeing that we got Garp in what, what was it, the first or second episode? And then we got the reveal that he's Luffy's grandfather, I want to say on the third episode, I think. Hey, this is my kill. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's my kill. That's my big mom kill. Don't take that. I wish the Conqueror's hockey range was bigger. Just a bit. Love the fact that he was at Roger's execution. That made sense. He was. Yeah, that's actually a change up. He was actually there at Roger's execution, rather, just speaking to him in his jail cell about, Rouge and Ace. Considering what we've seen Garp recently do in the manga, Luffy was catching some mini galaxy impacts. Oh, not even close. Not even close. We weren't getting those. We were just getting his battleship bag strength on Luffy. And that was it. We were not getting Luffy was not getting galaxy impacts. Oh, we reached that tier already. Alright, so I tried out all of Hancock's moves. Her being a technique type, there's still the limitation where some attacks could be better. And if I remember correctly, in Power Warriors 3, when she did her slave arrow, the one where she pulls back her bow on Salome and fires off one big massive round, I remember in Power Warriors 3, there was a version of that move where you had like a singular version, but then you also had a charge version where it would fire in an arc with multiple slave arrows rather than just one forward. So that's a bit of a downgrade for her. But I will say one thing that really does give Hancock an advantage is her full force burst, which makes it so that all of her attacks have a chance to completely petrify enemies. And the fact that this can happen to giant characters makes her far more beneficial. Makes her far more beneficial than a lot of the characters with status effects that we've seen thus far. Ah, joy. It's nice when people are trying to instruct me. Hold on. Give me a... All right, I'm back. Okay, what were you saying, CJ? What were you saying? Hold on, what were you saying? I know what would be humorous and potentially cool would be Brooks singing Skeletons by Pop Evil with his own little spin on it, skull jokes included. Can you give me a slight example of what the above Brooks scenario would be like? I don't know. I don't know the song Skeletons by Pop Evil, so even if I can't, I don't know the song, so I don't know what to tell you. Who's trying to instruct? Oh, it's just some dude who commented on my last reaction to Jujutsu Kaisen because I said to someone, someone said true form, black box open, or Yorozu's gift incoming for Sukuna. Gege can't fool me, I'm familiar with this game. And I said, that's why I said I don't count this as a victory until Gojo's back with his students and he's left Sukuna. Literally anything can happen here despite Gojo gaining a massive advantage. And then some other person popped up listing everything that Sukuna has, everything that Sukuna has at his disposal and everything, trying to, First, they say, one, Sukuna himself says in chapter 216 that his Megumi form is better suited for fighting sorcerers. Having 2 extra arms is not going to give him some power up. No one said anything about that, so that's kind of weird. Then 2, Cleave, Dismantle, Fire Arrow can't get past Infinity. Sukuna is severely limited in what he can use against Gojo. That is the entire point of him using Maharaga. 3, Yorozu's gift. It was specifically stated that she can't create something like the inverted spear of heaven. Look, Sukuna is barely standing. He has very low cursed energy, barely healing, has Maharaga, can't use domain amplification. There is no way Gege is going to magically replenish his cursed energy, heal him completely, and give him techniques that can magically bypass infinity out of nowhere. And I'm just like, this must be one of those individuals that really likes to pop up and explained in several paragraphs why, no, this is impossible or that's impossible. But I've been reading manga long enough to know that as much as I would like to think that, hey, it's a done deal, it's over, we'll never have to worry about this moment again, there's been many times when there have been subversions of a storyline where it's like, oh, so he had another trick up his sleeve. So, that's what that was. Someone trying to tell me about Jujutsu Kaisen. As much time as I spend in it, theorizing, talking to all of you about it, it's always some person that thinks, well,
actually, he has all of these capabilities and such, so that's the reason why this fight is over. Gojo has completely defeated Sukuna, and we don't need to worry about him ever being a problem again.
Just listing these things that are obvious, but it doesn't matter if we think it makes sense. It's what the author and writer does. As long as whatever happens makes sense from the author and writer, fine. If this is the end of the fight between Gojo and Sukuna, fine. But I'm not putting my eggs all in one basket because I'm not that dumb. I've been led astray before when it comes to manga chapters with things that things are going to go fine, and then they just go topsy-turvy right after that. I'm not that gullible to think that every single time, which is why I always go into a new chapter with a hint of skepticism, even if it looks like one side's victory is completely assured. So, it's always those people that try to crop up being like, well,
actually
I get quite a few actually type people that crop up from time to time. All right, so that was Hancock. Let's move on to Doflamingo. Check out the song. I'll check it out later. Oh no, that's the Seducing Woods. We are not going there. We are not going there. Some people just like to be combative just for attention. You just brush that nonsense off. I know, Ozzy. I know. I know what I know about Jujutsu. But I know what I know about storytelling as well. I know enough about Jujutsu to know that just because one side looks like it's completely winning... I mean, I've learned this from My Hero Academia. Every single time the heroes have a moment where they look like they're truly succeeding, the villains come back with an even bigger moment that hits even harder. And that has been the whole toss-up thus far in My Hero. So that's basically taught me that I shouldn't just go completely one-sided to one ideal when it comes to a chapter. I should explore all options, keep my mind open to the possibilities, and see how the chapters that come out each week, see how they turn out. Which is why you guys really don't see me make a whole bunch of theory videos. Hey, the best. What you doing, man? What you doing? They know my first video is The Witcher. A lot of people who are it's kind of obvious that's not news. That's not new. That's old. That's old. See, the advantage that Doflamingo has is his parasite strings. Everything else is secondary, but him being able to control people... Especially that combo, it's like, why would you even be on the ground? Because he has all of his combos here. But what makes this specific move, which I really don't like about Doflamingo's combos, is that this final combo here, it just hits enemies and puts them in parasite strings, but you don't get like an attack continuation. It freezes them, which is nice and all. But here, you can damage them and make them run into other enemies and damage them as well, and then finish them off with a Fulbright. It's also incredibly random how he can just pull his gun out and just start gunning people down. I've been trying to figure out the trigger for his gun for years, but I can never figure it out. I wonder, is it linked to your combo hits? It doesn't look like it. Also, his attacks that make it so that a whole string of strings pop up, that's great crowd control, because it basically just works off of Doflamingo, his entire move set. So he's very good at crowd control, and people getting close to him, they're gonna get hit. Plus the strings last a long time as well. And if I go my full force burst, I honestly feel if I'm playing as Doflamingo, I should not be within striking distance of these regular fodder enemies. If I'm up here, you should not be able to touch me at all. Also, when you're a flying type, you can't touch food. You can't touch grass or anything. I really haven't been taking out the people I need to be taking out. If I get them in the parasite, airborne parasite, their health really drains, especially if you get them in a crowd. Then all the hits of every adjacent enemy is hitting each other, meaning that you can take out people, you can drain people's health ridiculously fast. And as you can see here, his strings do not work on giant characters. Or at least people like Whitebeard. Enemies that are near him can be injured. They can drain his health very fast if they hit him. But it tends to be very situational. I'm not even showing off all of his combos. And just like that, kid just coming in and stealing my kills. Makes sense they don't work on him. Yeah, it makes sense. But specifically him and named giant characters, because other giant characters I think I can take control of. Burgess had to have been damaged by something else other than me, because ain't no way I just encountered Burgess and I just took him out already. Also, I feel for me to be playing as Doflamingo and him to be a sky type, his speed when he's airborne, when you're not dashing, okay? I feel like it could be so much better. Which is why I'm looking forward to the update. Because apparently, someone told me that you get a skill that makes it so that you travel faster the longer you're running. Just regular running. See, Katakuri is not immune to this. Katakuri is not immune, which is good. And Katakuri did not give me health, cheapskate. You see how Jozu was right in front of me? You see how he was right in front of me and he ain't get hurt at all? You see how you're just floating in the air?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just gonna ignore everything you're doing.
Doflamingo's best moves are in the air. You can kind of just spam Parasite so that they can't get out. Because one thing I do like about Doflamingo's Parasite strings is that they can't use their full force burst to burst out of it. So as long as you keep inflicting Parasite on an enemy, they can't break out. And that includes named characters as well. So it's kind of an abusable move. Doflamingo's voice actor is phenomenal, though. Can I just say that? He's got that unique voice where as soon as you hear his voice, you instantly recognize him. My theory may have been proven wrong because he's clearly in his Logia state and he's broken out. So I guess it's not 100% guaranteed. My thing is, however, those strings should be inflicting damage on his armor bar, and for a good 2 seconds, they weren't doing anything. So they like to choose when they get affected. Hello? Hello? Hey, hey! Remember me? The guy that's trying to kill all of you? Stop being tougher than me! How does that even work? How y'all get buffs on top of buffs and I get one skill that makes me flinch less and I'm still flinching? How does that work? Explain. Somebody explain. I'm not asking y'all, that's a rhetorical question. I just wanted to spam that. I wanted to take out Luffy just spamming that move. All right, so okay, so here's something I want to test out. All right, so how long does it take me to get from this end to the other? Just full on sprinting. All right, that's speed. That looks like it's speed. So now I'm going to go into his full force burst. How long does it take me? How am I slower? This is slower. This is slower. Obviously, the CPU's cheap and being cheap like most video games since the 80s. Yeah, they pretty much programmed it where if the enemy is getting beaten too badly, they will proceed to have instant recovery all of a sudden. Or it frankly doesn't make much sense. Finish your second run of AC6. Nice, Gajil, nice. Now you just got the final run. For those who haven't been keeping up, I just finished my third playthrough of AC6 not too long ago. And this morning, I completed all the combat logs. So the only thing left is to get all parts for my AC and S rank all missions. I really hope they give us better skills. I really hope, because a lot of these combos are either very limiting in their functionality and don't do as much because it looks good. Some of these moves look good, but their utility leaves a lot to be desired a good chunk of the time. Hopefully the skill map, I'm putting a lot of hope in this skill map, frankly, because we never had anything for this game like that before. So I'm putting a lot of faith that this skill map will turn trash characters and subpar characters into characters that can actually be above B tier. All right, so the next person up is going to be Crocodile, because we don't have Gecko Moria, we don't have Kuma. And I've already played Buggy already, and I kind of don't want to play Buggy again, because I've been spoiled playing characters that can clear out maps instantly with just a couple of button presses. So I've been spoiled. I've been spoiled playing very powerful characters that playing anybody else but those powerful characters just feels like I'm hampering my entire experience. Just got back into the game. What skills and moves you run on Oden? Oden? What game you talking about? This isn't Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate. This here be Pirate Warriors country. Aye, this be Pirate Warriors country. Blows that we have only 5 out of 7 Warlords. Like I said this earlier, I'm just wondering why they decided to leave out characters. Oh, Oden. Oh, okay. I see what you meant. Hold on. Let me go down to him. All right. Oden. You had me there for a second. See? You see how... That's scary. That's scary how much one letter can mean the difference between... Oh, what does he mean? Oden? This isn't Warriors Orochi. Oden with an E. Oh... I know we're supposed to be doing Crocodile, but this is what I have on Oden at the moment. And I feel like it's not optimized. I'll have to get with Kraz, because there's a lot of people who have fully optimized their characters to the point where it's the definitive way to play, the definitive skill set to have for certain characters. So I just need to talk to them and see what they got, and kind of match it up and see how well it works with everybody. But this is the skill set I have for Oden. This is the skill set I have for him. But we need to conclude with the Warlords. Not the stream, mind you, because it's only been like an hour and 41 minutes. We can play some other characters afterwards. But let's go ahead and finish it off with Crocodile. I don't count Blackbeard because he's technically a Yonko now. Crocodile. I'm still wondering, why would they take away costumes as well? We had his Marineford outfit. And they just stuck him with his Alabasta one. Even Buggy had his Marineford outfit. Sure, they give Hancock her Marineford outfit, but they don't give the characters who actually had it on the costumes. Why would you remove the costumes? Why? For what purpose? Just wondering. So, Ground Death, Sables, Golden Sand Ocean, Full Force Burst, enemies can be poisoned using a poisonous hook, and Deserto Girasole. I don't need to worry about my defense too much because I'm probably going to be trying to... Wait. Regular Sables? Huh? Wait a minute. Oh, it's level 1. Wait a minute. How do I even have this unlocked, though? Wait a minute. I am confused. How do I even have Sables unlocked if I don't even have it unlocked on my growth map? What? See, this game trying to confuse me, but you ain't gonna confuse me in front of a live studio audience. You're not about to do that. I guess I had to level... I guess I had it, and that was just to level it up? Huh. I figured that I wouldn't be able to even have access to it if I haven't unlocked it, but oh well. Let's begin. I would have liked for Marco's Full Force Burst to not only have him, you know, be able to fly around and such, but also him gradually healing. Because, I mean, that is the effects of his own Zoan Devil Fruit. So that added effect would have been cool. See, playing this now just fills me with so many expectations and hopes. That I'm really hoping that what we get in this update really changes every character for the better. Every character. Not just my favorites, but every single character. I'm gonna say this. I want this update to make it so that Chopper's actually usable. Yeah, I said it. I want Chopper to actually be usable because he's garbage. He's trash. He is bottom of the barrel. Chopper plays like his bounty number. Chopper plays like a 50 berry wanted person, when he should be playing up in the millions. But Chopper is bottom tier. I want this update to make Chopper usable. Also, concerning other games I'll be playing on the channel soon, me and Gajil checked out a gameplay video of Lies of P and their special weapons. Their weapons showcase. And there's a sword, there's a special sword on there that just screams like it's out of Kill la Kill. It's a giant pair of scissors that you can split apart and do full-on anime twists and turns with it. And it's completely it's a purely anime move. So the weapon designs in Lies of P really does look quite nice. But I'm really interested in not only the whole level up system, but also the P organ, which is a secondary leveling system that gives you special skills. That's what I'm looking forward to. Jinbei's stuck in a wall. How are you stuck in the alley, man? See, Jinbei should have an advantage against Crocodile due to his weakness to water. That's what Jinbei should have. But he does not. Therefore, I can take advantage. After this, we'll play as Oden, just to show you how his setup should have been what Mihawk and Shanks had at the very beginning. Whenever you fight Crocodile, whenever he gets Logia, he takes up a massive amount of your life bar. That's because Logias are annoying to fight. Oh, you're doing so much damage to me? Fine, I'm just gonna make myself intangible. And the only way you can knock me out of my intangibility is if you knock my bar out. And while I'm intangible, I'm gonna make it so that it takes you a hot minute for my bar to disappear. Unless you're Ace. Then Ace just melts everything. Oh, that's where it is! I was wondering where his Badahan was. Badahan is a move they used to have in Power Warriors 3 that was part of his ground combo that made it so that he could drag enemies up to him and drain them of life, making Crocodile pretty much the only Logia character that can heal himself. I'm just now discovering that his first charge combo is his Baruhan, but it's airborne. You have to be airborne for it, which means that you can achieve this anytime you're in his Logia state, so you can just constantly heal yourself over and over again, which is advantageous in a stage like this. So I'm straight. I was like, I'm kind of taking a little bit of damage now, but no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I can heal myself, so it's all good. It's kind of cheap when you think about it. This is what Marco should have, but it's innate healing. Shouldn't have to take a skill that takes up 2 whole slots for me to have healing for Marco to feel like Marco whenever he's like using his Phoenix powers. Got something for you now. I'm trying to grab some of this fruit. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So for his moveset, Crocodile's best moves, I want to say, are like Doflamingo's in the air. Which I think his other move that's good on the ground is his Sable's move. You could just spam Sandstorm over and over and over again on the ground. And then you got Sable's Pizzotto. That works well too. But I feel like his best moves are in the air when he's in his Logia state. I mean, he's far better in his Logia state, period. Because, you know, he's intangible and no enemy can hit you. Which I actually find funny. How you have to constantly wail on a Logia user in this game to get rid of their bar. But you, as a Logia user, get the full advantage of never having that happen. So I'm glad that they haven't done that. I'm glad they didn't add a stagger meter to players when they're in their full force burst or even a Logia state. Because that would have made fighting people in this game, or even using or fighting Logias or anyone in general, just that much more tedious than it actually needs to be. Alright, Law's down. But yeah, his air charge 3, that's best. Or is that charge 4? Just send multiple sandstorms in one direction. In a tight corner, highly advised. Well, tight space, highly advised.
Because they got nowhere else to go.
So that's chargeable. Is that the only chargeable move? Crescent Cutlass? Yeah, that's the only one that can heal. All of these are moves meant to knock back. Okay. I'm just trying to think of the best setup to make it so that Crocodile is actually more viable than he is right now. Because I feel like I could be doing so much more better damage. Maybe I need to take off concentration because I'm only using it so I can keep going in my Logia state quicker. Which is what's keeping me alive on top of the Crescent Cutlass. That's not a phenomenal amount of damage. Oh wait, that was actually nice. Night night, Dofi. One thing I noticed about the Frankie family is that they really love their rocks. Once Spider-Man 2 comes, you should do a video on which game you think deserves Game of the Year. I will. I definitely will, because this year's been packed with a lot of games that fall under that category. We got the Dead Space remake, the Resident Evil 4 remake. We got Final Fantasy 16. To a lot of people, Baldur's Gate 3. What else did we get this year? We got a lot of good games that dropped this year that fall under that category already. So yeah, I most definitely will do like a list of games I think could be like a Game of the Year contender on which one deserves it. Too bad I can't take screenshots in this game. There's just too much UI during gameplay where I can't get like a good screenshot where I could get like a perfect shot without the extra, because I would love to. It would make my thumbnails pop even more. AC6 could fall into that category. Yes, that's actually another good one. Armored Core 6 is a sleeper hit, if you will. Not to the people who have been playing Armored Core for many years, but to many of us who have never touched a single Armored Core game. And it's just another reminder that From Software is not a developer studio to be messed with when it comes to their games. They gave us Elden Ring, and they still have us in a chokehold with, the promise of DLC. But now, while we're waiting on Shadow of the Erdtree for Elden Ring, they release a completely new Armored Core game in over 10 years, and it's great. Even while they're messing with pretty much the magnum opus of their entire studio, Elden Ring, even though they're messing with that, they're still releasing other games under their name, and those games are hits. You got people who have never played an Armored Core game coming out the woodworks to play it simply because it's From Software. That's how you know that name in the gaming industry carries power. Oh, I've never played any of their Armored Core games in the past, but I want to play it now simply because they know how to market a game, they know how to build a game. It is a game that I have never run into a single hitch during gameplay at all. Their games are, at launch, already substantially better than a lot of games that have launched this year. Because we've had some stinkers. We've had Redfall. We've had Lord of the Rings Gollum. We've had, Saints Row trying to survive, but Volition is dead. Think about that for a second. Volition is gone because Saints Row was that bad. We have multiple games that came out with buggy at launch and messed up at launch. Jedi Survivor came out and it was like the performance left a lot to be desired. But recently, they've redeemed themselves a bit by making it so that the game now runs at 60 FPS, which it should have done that at the beginning. You can't tell me that it couldn't have launched that way. But we've had some of the best games ever this year. Yeah, we have. Atlas Fallen, yeah, that's another one. That's God. Okay, so to those who don't know, when Atlas Fallen came out, me and Gajil played it. I didn't do like an entire big massive series on it. I mean, I played it on occasion and decided, you know what, I'm just gonna mess with this. I played the ending of the game and that was it. But when me and Gajil played, the game decided, you know what? You got two people fighting at once? Guess I'll die. And it would just be extremely... It wouldn't be able to handle multiple people playing. It couldn't handle it. We crashed not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not even seven, but we crashed 8 different times during our sessions. And most of those crashes were within 20 minutes. They were within minutes of each other. I tried to help Gajil go through Atlas Fallen and defeat the second to last boss of the game. I tried to help him. it was defeating this one, what was it? I forget the creature's name because it just lost me. But it's called the Collector. It's a type of monster, and we tried fighting it. But every single time we kept fighting it, our games would crash. Sometimes his game would crash, sometimes mine would crash. It was a game that could not handle multiplayer, even though they were quick to tell you how much fun it would be to play with another person in Atlas Fallen. So we washed our hands of that. And it pretty much just put into our perspective, unless it's from a dev studio we absolutely trust, and the games that they're showing off appeal to us 100%, we're not touching those games again. I know I'm not, because I don't have money to just randomly burn like that just on a whim. Some games I don't mind being the guinea pig for. I don't mind being the guinea pig for certain games just to make it so that none of you have to make any purchases that you may regret in the future. I don't mind doing that sometimes. But when it comes to games that seem sketchy, unless they appeal to me 100%, I'm not touching them anymore. I made the mistakes of getting games because they look cool, and then after a while, it's like, this isn't cool anymore. I don't want to play it. And then I either trade it in, but I can't get no full refund for it, which is why I don't buy games digitally. Because if I don't like it, that's money gone. I can't get a refund for that. But if I get it physical, I can at least trade it in or sell it or do whatever with it, and at least get some feeling back for it. But I've reached a point in my life where I just can't play every single game that comes out, and I can only play games from people that I trust, or the gameplay has me fully. Those are the only games I can play now, because it would be just a waste just playing every single game and saying like, well, this game sucks, and then you're out of $60 or $70. Not to mention it would, and Atlas Fallen would also nerf your people. I think it depends on the studio. You can accept bugs, but if they're a small studio or indies, see, bugs from a well-known studio, it depends on the studio themselves. Now, like I said, Thomas, unless it's from a studio that I absolutely trust, or it's gameplay or something that I'm interested in, I'm not going to touch it. Whoa, what happened? OBS kind of conked out on me and then it came back up. Let me see. Okay, it skipped out. Yeah. OBS had like a little bit of an error. How is Beggy in this game? Any good? He's a technique character. A lot of his moves tend to be really situational. His best move, I think, is one of his supers where he just turns into Big Father and just turns into a giant tank that fires everywhere. The range is ridiculous for Beggy, but his moveset is really based around him sending out his own goons to do a lot of damage. And I say a lot of damage, but it's really his moveset. His moveset is really just him sending out his goons to do damage. And I can't say a lot of damage because sometimes it's kind of whatever. You know what? We're going to go to Grand Line because if I play Beggy, then it's not going to be pretty. Hold on. I did say we were going to play Oden, but let me just show off Beggy just real quick. What is going on with his defense bar? Why is it filling up? What in the world? I didn't know it could move. Did y'all see that? Oh, okay. Okay. That kind of scared me a little bit because I've played this game so much. I have never seen the bars on the character selection screen fill up like that before. I have never seen that. I didn't even know that was possible. This game is trying to weird me out before the DLC drops this week. It's trying to make me look at it some type of way. Now, trying to think of another good thing to put on Beggy. Tenacity would be fine. Does the name not have an R in it in Burge? No, it's Beggy. There's no R in there. Capone Gang Beggy. The only Burge we know of in One Piece is Jesus Burgess, and that's it. See? Capone is another individual whose moveset is slow. Hoping games learn from FromSoft. Yeah, I hope they do as well. Delivering a complete product at launch. They're just now releasing a patch for Armored Core. And the patch really, what the patch did was it actually amped up a lot of the machine guns in Armored Core and also changed up the attack patterns of some bosses. For example, for those of you who were here when I was playing through Armored Core, and I faced off against the Ibis CEL 240, and how devastatingly annoying it was my first run, and how much easier it got with my second run. I don't know if I got better at fighting that boss, but the boss seems less aggressive now after the recent patch. Mind you, it still moves around like crazy, but it doesn't feel as aggressive in chaining its attacks compared to when I faced it initially. And that the same goes for Baltius and the spider, the sea spider as well. I need to face off against them to see if they truly changed. But they're just now releasing a patch that basically buff a couple of things. The only time will tell if they nerf the pile bunker and the Zimmerman shotguns, because those weapons in Armored Core are just flat out overpowered, and they're basically the bleed damage of Elden Ring. But see, I got tenacity on. for Beggy's entire moveset, it just... There's so many characters that can move fast. There's so many characters whose attacks move faster than the enemy can really relax, and can before the enemy can relax. And Beggy here is just like taking his time, like, and it's like, okay, you're giving them way too much time. Now, of course, his full force burst goes up. He doesn't have many moves that would seem like they're incredibly widespread, except for, you know, calling out his goons to be around him. We just need another Muso game? Yeah, we do. We do. We do. Once Pyro Warriors 4 is done with all their DLC, because that's crazy to think about. What if we haven't gotten a new Muso game, a new anime one, because they still wanted to dedicate some time to Pyro Warriors, even after all this time? I know it's crazy to think about, but what if that's the case? And now Blackbeard's here, so that means I won't be able to get proper kills because Blackbeard as an AI is garbage and won't just kill the enemy, he'll just make things harder. Look, I don't mind that we're getting more Pyro Warriors. I don't mind that we're getting more content, especially after 3 years, and they're giving us more than just characters. I don't mind that at all. But as long as it doesn't, but we need another anime IP for Muso. We do. Bandai recently put out screenshots for Jujutsu Curse Clash, and they put out an image of Aoi Todo. Now, mind you, the character designs look great. They look like they're ripped straight from the anime. The character designs are great, but, and I've said this to multiple people, I feel like the entire company at Bandai can do so much better than creating yet another another Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm clone fighting game for every popular IP that's out right now. They did it for Naruto, obviously, and Naruto has like, what, 75 different versions of that one game type, and they've never tried to give us Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 1! But that's a conversation for another time. Then we got Demon Slayer, which is basically another arena fighter. We got My Hero Academia, One's Justice and One's Justice 2. Which is another arena fighter. Mind you, it's not exactly like Naruto, but it's still an arena fighter based off an anime nonetheless. Then I said Demon Slayer, right? Yeah, we got Demon Slayer. Then we have... One Piece actually did it a while back with Burning Blood, but that was many years ago, and people still want like a Burning Blood too. But now we're getting Jujutsu Kaisen that's basically doing the same tried and true arena fighter deal that we've seen so many times before. And I'm just like, we can do so much better than turning everything into a fighter. We have more fighting games than we do Muso, so people can't say that, well, Muso isn't that popular. But fighting games is getting to the point where it's like, this is the only thing you can come up with, though? At least Muso games varies things up. Oh, I want to play as this villain from this entire series against an entire army. That's fun, rather than like, oh, I get to play as Frieza, or I get to play as All For One in this fighting match, and once it's over in 3 rounds, it's like, okay, what else is there to do? Fight another person. Fight another person. Maybe it's just me. Maybe my view of anime fighting games is more askew than normal because I'm just not a fan of that type of style for anime games. But I feel you can do so much better than turning everything into an arena fighter, because to me that feels like it's the safest option. Hey, if people don't like it, well, it's just another fighting game, so they can just go back to playing Dragon Ball FighterZ or Naruto Connections or whatever. I just feel like they go that route because it's safest, and it's I'm not going to say it's easier to do. I'm not going to say that. But it feels like it's the least amount to cause issues with controversy or people to dislike it wholly. So I really hope we get more anime Muso games, because I feel there's more appeal than playing a game where you get to play as your favorite characters against an entire army, and you get to use that power to its fullest extent. Not nerfed in a way like, oh, we need to make it so that this character, who fundamentally cannot be touched by anybody because he is able to multiply the space between him infinitely, let's nerf that so that he can take part in a fighting match that we all know he would win. Talking about you, Satoru Gojo, in a fighting game. That's just me. I just feel like I would rather have an anime IP game where I get to fully embrace the powers of insert character name here without it being sacrificed for what people call balancing. Like, give me the power of Gojo, the full unbridled power of Gojo, but without nerfing it so that the other person who I'm fighting against, like, say, Nobara or Yuji, instantly get bodied by Infinite Void. Or Hollow Purple. That's just me. I'll look at gameplay of people playing it, but I myself won't play it simply because I feel like we could do so much better than that type of IP. I mean, type of gameplay style. To anyone who likes anime fighting games, more power to you. I'm not going to tell you that your choice is wrong, but I feel like we could do so much better than just use that. But like I said, that's just me. That's just my particular tastes. What did I think about the One Piece RPG? Felt it was so limiting in where you could go and who you had on you. If you're talking about One Piece Odyssey, I got some things to say about that game as well. It is not your traditional RPG in lieu of the facts of traditional RPGs would tell you what level the enemy you're facing actually is. One Piece Odyssey doesn't really do that. So you could grind. Yeah, I'm into beat 'em up and hack and slash styles myself. Those are actually my preferred style of games. Because, as you can clearly see here, I could spend hours playing this type of game. I feel like playing as Kaido and just going to, I don't know, the Marineford War and just wreaking havoc on everybody. The game allows me to do that. Hey, I want to be Kizaru and go all the way to Alabasta and just wreak havoc on everyone. The game allows you to do that. Hey, I want to be Shanks and I want to stop Kaido in Wano. The game allows me to do that. The Muso games give you the option of what if scenarios. They give you options. Just flat out options. That's why I love these types of games. And don't add in skill trees and RPG elements and ways to make myself stronger. Oh, you won't hear from me. Because I'm going to be holed up in my room. Mountain Dew on the countertop. Mind you, my room is clean because I've seen people and streamers who do not clean their rooms. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But you'll see me in my room, sitting in my chair, playing games like this for hours because that's what I love, and it lets me embrace characters I see on pages or in the anime and be all like, I watched this episode of One Piece. Kizaru is just wreaking havoc on everybody. Time to boot up Pirate Warriors and play as my favorite light man. The game gives you that option. But going back to One Piece Odyssey, I was not a fan of its 3-point advantage-disadvantage system. That felt like it was something pulled straight out of a mobile game, and it had no business being in a One Piece RPG. Because you basically made it so that characters who had an advantage against others would just, especially if it was enemies and bosses, some bosses would be doing more damage to people that I had an advantage over them with than the ones they had a disadvantage with. So say, for example, Luffy is a power type, and then you have Kizaru, who is a technique or speed type. I forget which, it's been too long. And Luffy has an advantage over a speed type. For example, Kizaru has a disadvantage against power types. Why would Kizaru, and this has happened before, be doing more damage, or a boss in general be doing more damage against a person that it has a disadvantage against, and my damage against this person with an advantage isn't doing as much as the disadvantage damage? I had one mission where I was playing through it. I have the series. You guys can see it. Where I was fighting a boss, and Chopper was the only one capable of killing the boss. Thankfully, because Chopper could heal himself, and because the boss did minimal damage against Chopper and Monster Point. And everyone else just fell to this boss all the time. Another thing that rubbed me the wrong way was the fact that grinding in RPGs it's one of the biggest things about RPGs in general. Just grinding to get stronger. You face off against a boss that whoops your behind, you go, you leave, you farm some enemies until you're over the level of the enemy itself. Unfortunately, Odyssey does not give you the option to even tell what level bosses are due to the fact that they don't actually show. You have no idea how strong the enemies are in Odyssey for you to see how much grinding you need to do, which makes grinding in general redundant. You could grind for hours, which I have tried, and enemies would still be more powerful enough to put up a fight against you. How am I level 40, 50, or 60, and enemies who are 30 levels under me are still wrecking half of my crew, and I have defensive buffs on them? One would think if they have Roger, then why not add Rayleigh to Pirate Warriors 4? See, here's the thing, Ozzy. Here's the thing. A lot of people are feeling like the last pack we get for Power Warriors 4 will not only have Roger, but will have Garp and Rayleigh. That's the thought in people's minds for the last pack. So that doesn't seem as far-fetched as you may say. The fact that we're getting Roger as a whole, that's already mind-blowing to me. It's Roger, the king of the pirates. So the fact that they're giving us Roger, it's by far one of the biggest things that, frankly, they could have done in Pirate Warriors history. Shanks, us getting Shanks, yeah, that's cool. But us getting Roger himself, that's awesome. And us possibly getting, and I really hope that we're getting both Garp and Rayleigh, but us getting all three of those characters would by far be one of the greatest things to happen in the entirety of Pirate Warriors. Roger's one thing, Garp is another. Rayleigh, you would have the OGs, like the people that everyone loves. Everyone loves Garp, everyone loves Roger, and everyone loves Rayleigh. Having them in playable form would be beyond amazing. Now the question is, what are they going to do to Roger as far as gameplay is concerned? Because the only named attack we have seen from Roger in the entire series is Kamusari, which is Divine Departure. And that's it. But we know he's ridiculously strong. You cannot make Roger weaker than anyone in this game. He's known as the king for a reason. He is seen as one of the few individuals that can give Kaido a run for his money for a reason. Everyone feared Roger as an adversary for a reason. Everyone is trying to go after Roger's treasure to reach his status for a reason. Roger cannot be the weakest. He's got to be a cheat character. I said this during my initial reaction to the trailer for us even getting DLC for this game. He has to be the ultimate. He has to be the absolute. He has to be the most powerful character in the game. Just at base. We're already getting soul maps that can make characters stronger upon themselves. Multiple maps. We're getting one soul map, and then we're getting other ones as well. Well, actually, I think we're getting 3 altogether. We're getting 3 altogether, which should make our characters fundamentally even more powerful than before. Roger needs to be strong straight off the bat, and us maxing out his level needs to make him the strongest. Sure, we got Kaido. He's strong. We got Big Mom and Whitebeard. They're all strong. Even Smoothie. Smoothie, who has 100% range, like the greatest range out of everyone. You know what? I'm going to show off Smoothie after this, because I'm about to finish this. I'm about to finish this anyway. I'm about to show y'all just how much range Smoothie has and why it's mind blowing how her range is the greatest out of every single person in the entire game. But Roger has to be the absolute strongest. Every attack that Roger has needs to hit hard. I honestly feel he's going to be a power type because Roger just seems like the sort. He's definitely not a flying type because, one, he doesn't have a devil fruit power, and having Roger be a technique type would be an insult to his entire character. The man is power. The only other person who can match him to him strength-wise was Garp and Whitebeard. Roger is power. So Roger has to be the most broken character in all of One Piece history. In all of the Pirate Warriors roster. Out of every character we've ever had, he has to be the strongest. Anything less than that would be an insult to his character. That's just me saying it. That's just me. So since we're getting Roger, Garp and Rayleigh would be great to have as well. Especially with what we know of what Garp is capable of doing in the manga. And this is a Roger who wasn't even at 100%. Exactly. Everything we've seen Roger do, the man was dying from an incredibly debilitating disease that was kept at bay by Crocus. A man who is capable of sailing across the seas, reach the end of the world where he's seen everything the world has to offer, all while dying from an incurable disease that left him debilitated behind closed doors. Because for those of us who have seen the episode when he was with his crew and they were docked, and he was in his room coughing up blood, barely able to stand. But as soon as he opened up those doors, he was all smiles, and he behaved as if he didn't have a life-threatening, slowly killing him disease as well. And even at the end of his journey, he gave himself up rather than die to his disease, and basically set off the new golden age of piracy. That is the person we are going to be getting our hands on. The person who started the series itself, and everyone's path to be a pirate. That's the person. So like I said, he needs to be the strongest. But let me show you just how strong Smoothie is with her capabilities. I don't need to mess with too much. I really don't need to mess with too much. Everything is fine. We got Juicy Giant, Refreshment Squeeze, and Juicy Sparkle. I might need to change out Squeeze. Let's get Juicy! Juicy Saber. And she's completely maxed out. Smoothie's a great character, but let me show you why. I gotta remember how I did this. There it is. He likes grabbing me. Okay, y'all see this range. Y'all see this range on Smoothie, right? Now we're gonna bring her to giant size. That covers a lot of range. It hits enemies all the way back there. See? You see how massive that range is for Smoothie? Uh-oh. I'm lightly touching my stick. I think I'm suffering from drift. Yep. My controller's starting to suffer from some drift a little bit. Luckily, I have a warranty, so I can get a brand new one, but... But Smoothie's range for her attacks, it hits through walls. She's the only character where the camera is required to zoom out that far. Not even Whitebeard has that much range on his attacks. Her range is ridiculous. So out of everyone in the entire game, Smoothie has the greatest range for attack. Notice how my attack went straight through these pillars and hit everyone on the other side. A lot of her attacks bypass walls completely. Yeah, Smoothie is easy mode. Her giant form just breaks gauges and HP bars. Yeah, it's crazy how efficient she is at everything, but out of every giant character, now mind you, she's only a giant character when you're in her form change. But when she assumes her giant form, she has the greatest range out of every single character in the game. That's how good she is. I'm not intentionally running to the side here. I'm actually... I have my finger lightly on my controller. I don't even have my finger moving in the direction of the left. I'm probably gonna have to get a trade in my. I'm probably gonna have to get a brand new controller before Spider-Man. Because I simply can't. It's not down to the point where it's incredibly debilitating. But I kind of want to avoid any future problems going into the next few months and into next year. Also didn't know that her growing also counts for her hits as well. Just her basic combos have range. Then after this one, we'll play Oden. Ah, another Logia. That's why you got 2 controllers for different games. Maybe I should adopt that mentality. Smoothie is basically just one big massive delete button, especially with a full combo. All right, onwards to Oden. And then I'll call it a session. And Oden as a character is pretty much synonymous with his entire wild nature. So, you know, I don't need to really change anything in this. Yeah, I could change this because it's not difficult, so I don't need cheat death. Don't need sovereign strength because his conqueror's hockey doesn't work. At least not now. Hopefully they fix it. If he was still alive, he and Luffy would be the life of the party? Yes, they would. Can you imagine the stories he would tell about his adventures with Roger? Alright, Oden is a samurai characterized by his quick two-sword style techniques. He can also use Ryuo to launch powerful wide-hitting attacks from his swords, overwhelming his foes in any situation. And, yeah. Yeah, it's good because he gets like an innate buff right at the start of his string, whereas Shanks and Mihawk have to finish a full combo in order to get one buff. Whereas Oden starts it, his first hit is him buffing himself, so his entire string is already buffed. Already hitting jokers 1,000 times. I love this move. I love this move. As you can see there, Oden had Haki on his blades, but it's just a special move. Same can be said for Zoro whenever he uses moves that require that he gets buffed up with Haki. Haki just really doesn't play a part in gameplay. Even though it could be cool. So out of all the packs, I want to say Kinemon is good, Smoothie's good, and Oden is good. I mean, him being able to buff himself during his full force bursts, unlike that of Shanks and Mihawk, already puts him at a greater advantage. I really wish that little message wasn't at the top, it wasn't in the middle of the screen, and it was instead at the bottom. I think I just took out Kobe just by flexing into his full force burst. Hope whenever a Pyro Warriors 5 happens, maybe after One Piece ends, we have a massive roster. It would be nice, but I feel if we are ever going to get another Pyro Warriors, we are a long ways off. I said it before, but I love Sengoku's theme whenever he shows up. It's the bells. It's the bells and the soft tone in the beginning. Oh, that attack has a different shape and color. Okay, I didn't know that. If Oden's blades are hockeyed up, then that tornado move turns completely red and becomes even bigger. It's a hockey-nado. I didn't know that. Yep, my kill. What? His taunt heals him?
早くあちこち見て回りて
His taunt heals him?
え。勝ったな。喜ぶほどでもねえ。こりゃ愉快だ。
This is news to me. This is news to me. Okay, game. Okay. You keep coming up with different ways for me to pay much attention. Pay a whole lot more attention to you. Man, you know it shows why he was the last character in the first pass? Yeah. Yeah, he's a last character. We're getting Roger as the first character in the last pack. Oh, we have no idea. We have no idea. God, I cannot wait for Thursday, okay? Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited for Thursday. More power, more skills, more characters, and missions. Actual different missions we can do. Which is good. I'm looking forward to it. All right, more everything. Yeah, Gajil, more everything. How is your progression going on Pirate Warriors? Like, how's the progression going on the story mode for you? Do we need to help you get through the story in anticipation for the DLC we supposed to be getting this week? I'm just saying. I don't mind helping you out so you can get a little bit further. But I think that'll do it for today's session. It's going great. Awesome. I think what I'll do for my next session is showing off all the Logias. Yeah, showing off all the Logias. So we got... Okay, so for a Logia character, we have Kuzan, Sabo, Kainu, Kizaru, Smoker. And we already showed off Crocodile, Ace, and Blackbeard, I guess. Yeah, those are all the Logias. Alright, that'll be my next session for tomorrow. Logias! And seeing which one is the strongest out of all of them.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
More? Yes, we're getting more. And I can't think of any better way to spend my Thursday than with more Pirate Warriors 4. We're getting more in Pirate Warriors 4. Oh, yes, I can't wait for it. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. This was a fun session. We got to see some of the Warlords. Well, pretty much all the Warlords, at least the ones that I haven't played on stream recently for all of you. And some of their moves leaves a lot to be desired. Some of them are... I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on the update. So that way we can go through these characters again and see if they're even better with this update, which I'm really banking on will happen. That's what I'm feeling right now. So yeah, join me tomorrow as we start messing with the Logia characters. I want to see if I can play every character thus far. I want to play every character before the update happens on Thursday. So that means that on Wednesday will probably be me playing with pretty much every other character I haven't played that I don't play tomorrow. So yeah, that'll be that. But everyone, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then do these things because not only is it free, but it also helps the channel because, yeah, the channel's growing bigger. We're getting closer and closer to 4,400 subscribers, everybody. Let's get it. Like, subscribe, and share this stream with everyone you know because the more the merrier. And because I'm always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!